Hey, Gemini, Intuitive Soul Coach here with your December 2023 monthly reading. Welcome back to my channel if you are returning, and welcome if you are new. These are general readings. Please take what resonates and leave the rest behind. If you're interested in a personal reading, signing up for the monthly newsletter, or entering into the free reading giveaway, you can find all of that information in the description box below the video. All right, Gemini, welcome. The key theme showing up for you this month, we have memories, soul tribe, followed by letting go. And what you can't see, or what's at the bottom of the deck, underlying the energy here, we have divine guidance. So this is about angelic support. Some of you, maybe you feel like your prayers aren't being answered, but they are. The universe hears you. Spirit hears you. This is about spiritual strength, and a lot of you are going through some challenges at this time where you are being guided to let go. I'm getting here with this let go. This is about closure. It could be endings. It can be even about letting the past go, grieving a situation in order for you to move forward into a new paradigm, a new shift, into these miracles that are waiting here. Underneath it, we have timing. So for some of you, timing is of the essence. Timing has been a factor in all of this. This could be a situation that has been ongoing for the course of many years, many months, or you're coming definitely to the end of a situation where, yes, timing is of the essence. I'm getting like a deadline type of energy here. Now you have the memories card. So some of you, you could be daydreaming. You could be thinking about past memories with a person, or when things weren't as chaotic, or there could be a loss. If you are going through maybe a first Christmas or a first celebration without someone, or maybe you've been apart from someone for many years, there could still be memories that show up. This can be a difficult time for those that have lost loved ones, or are going through a separation, or going through situations that can bring up some past energy. And I feel like that past energy is coming up for you to really take a look at, so you can move forward feeling healthier. I'm getting the word healthy. This could be mentally, physically, emotionally, where a lot of you have been hanging on to a few things that have been a little bit detrimental or unhealthy, whether it's patterns, habits, relationships. Some of you, this is karmic ties, karmic cycles. I've been talking about that a lot in the past few months, because that eclipse season, Libran energy, Libra season, really opened up the doorway for a lot of the floodgate to kind of come through, for us to see the truth and things that have been hidden. And so memories can start popping up here, but trust that these emotions can come in waves. So emotions are part of, the experience, but that doesn't define who you are. It's just part of your, emotional system, which they're very important for you to take a look at some of these emotions, but they don't have to define you. And I feel like some of you may get bogged down or weighed down with some sort of heavy emotional attachment, okay? And that's why you have letting go here. Now, this could be a friendship. It could be a romantic partnership. It could be family, because soul tribe is at the center of your reading here. I feel like you could be closing the chapter or closing the door on people, places, things that are no longer aligning with the new version of you, the new energetic frequency that you are putting out into the universe. This is about like minds, belonging, feeling that sense of belonging with who you are. I feel like some of you may have got caught up in a situation where you lost sight of who you were. Maybe you were in a very manipulative or a narcissistic relationship or cycle, or domineering. I'm getting here power struggle, power play. I get a little bit of that Five of Swords, where there could have been a lot of back and forth, someone needing to have the last word. But you're shifting that frequency to attract in a new soul tribe, or to strengthen the relationships with the current people who you're taking with you into this next portal, this next chapter of your life. Now we have the letting go, a big theme here for you. So Gemini, this is the month where you're liberating yourself. There could be goodbyes this month. This is growth. Major, major growth is what Spirit just said. Ascension. Your soul is ascending, as we said. And in order for us to ascend, sometimes we have to say goodbye to patterns, people, places, events, or things of the past, even old versions of ourselves. And there can be a little bit of grief, but look at these two. It doesn't look like there's too much grief on their faces. There's more of an exciting, reinvigorating type of energy. So it just depends where you are at on your journey. If this is something fresh, yeah, you could still be going through some grief. But if it's something that you've been working on for quite some time, this could be quite exhilarating, knowing that you are coming to the end of this cycle because you've learned major life lessons, and now there's going to be more of a flow of energy instead of feeling restricted, feeling I'm getting cut off. It's like when you kink a hose and that water is not able to flow through. I feel like you are, in a way, kind of unkinking the energy that's felt a little bit stuck or stagnant. And yes, at the bottom, what you don't see is your prayers are actually being answered at this time. So expect miracles over the coming weeks. I'm getting the next 2 to 8 weeks are going to be transformational on an internal level that really puts you in a place of higher knowing, higher understanding, and more clarity than maybe you've ever been able to connect or tap into. So excuse me, in the process, some of you are detoxing, getting back in shape, getting healthier, releasing yourself from negativity, drama. You could be going on a cleanse, a diet, and just, eliminating anything that's no longer healthy. All right, let's dive into your reading here. So you start off with double twos. The sacral chakra came up. This was actually your first card. This is located in the navel region, about 2 inches below your belly button. And this has to do with our sexuality, our pleasure. It can be relationships, our creativity. This can be our reproductive organs. It can be lower back as well. And for a lot of you, this is being activated. I'm getting here kundalini, like a kundalini activation, kundalini rising here. For those of you that are familiar with that, you may want to look it up, or maybe you're not familiar. But in order to get up off this hanged man energy, right? There's something that you are surrendering or letting go of because there's been empty rewards. It's like seeing a carrot dangling in front of you, right? And you really wanting that carrot. I don't know why the carrot is the analogy, because it's not like we want to go out there and eat carrots, but I feel like there's something that's been dangling in front of you for quite some time, but it's been just out of reach. And now you may be looking back, and maybe that's why they say the carrot, right? Now you're looking back and you're saying, why do I even want that carrot, right? Why is it that I'm constantly going for this carrot when I could go over here and get something juicier? Maybe it's an avocado, wrap, or I don't care, whatever it is for you, symbology here. But it's like you've been chasing this carrot that's been dangling in front of you for so long, and there was empty rewards because it's like you weren't able to quite take a bite, or maybe you did take a bite out of it and you realize this is just a carrot. It's not what I thought it would be. And in order for you to get some sort of rewards, I feel like there's a little bit of a sacrifice that you had to go through here with family, with friends, with community, with someone, because centered in your reading, we do have the Two of Cups. So there is someone here that is the catalyst or part of your connection. And you'll know who this is. Family, friend, foe, relationship, whoever, child, parent. But I feel like the main lesson here, or part of this Kundalini awakening, is for you to find balance, because something got thrown way off kilter. It's like you lost yourself while you were chasing that carrot that wasn't even, it was a learning opportunity, but then before you know it, it's like you were conditioned to just go for that carrot, and you also conditioned yourself to think, well, that's not achievable, right? Or it's not even, it's like you started to make up this illusion of what it would be like when you got that carrot. So I feel like there's more balance coming in here in all areas of your life. I mean, Two of Pentacles, you have double twos. There are some big choices here around surrendering, around letting go, around this Hanged Man, around maybe releasing the sense of what an outcome looks like. It could be a delay, something that has been delayed is coming back into balance, right? The 2 and the 2, you're making some sort of choice here that's going to bring up a sense of stability with the 4, right? Some sort of foundation, some sort of structure. You've been planning for a while. I feel like you've been working. Some of you have even been hanging around for a while, hoping that that carrot would appear. When you're realizing, why am I even chasing after that? It's out of my reach. It's out of balance. And so now you're realizing that. And I feel like that's where this 2 of Pentacles comes in, because the 2 of Pentacles is about, staying calm, finding that balance. It can be about multitasking. Some of you, it's about learning how to find that work-life balance. It's about finding that you can weigh up your options and trust yourself. There it is. Trust yourself. Spirit is highlighting here for me. Trust yourself to make decisions that are in your highest good, because some of you have made decisions in the past that you had to deal and reap with the consequences of the decisions that you've made. And that brought about a fear that you're not going to make a decision that's in your highest good, that you're going to repeat something of the past. That's why we see this wheel or this spinning of a cycle. But you're not going to this time around, because you're taking the leap and you're doing something different. That's what you're doing. You're letting go of the attachment. You're letting go of the outcome. You're letting go of the control of what it should look like. This is big for you, Gemini. Next up, we have the 7 of Cups, clarified by the Knight of Coins. The 7 of Cups can be the card of, daydreaming and decisions, right? Which you have double decisions showing up. So it's almost like you're stuck between a past memory, maybe like between a rock and a hard place. You're stuck between the past and letting go, right? Do I let go of the past? What if I let go of that? Then I'll never be able to, right? I'll never be able to come back. It's almost like you feel like something is concrete, and maybe it is for you. But I also sense that you have free will, and right now your intuition is guiding you, but your logical mind is saying, I need to hang on because that's my worth, or that's what makes me, or I need to be in this relationship, or I need to have this job because it's financially lucrative, or whatever it may be. When your intuition is saying, in order to get more, and it doesn't mean more money, but it could be for some of you, in order to reach a higher level of abundance, we'll call it that. Whether it's emotional love, right? Whether it's emotional wealth, whether it is freedom, whatever that abundance looks like for you, the first step is to let go of some sort of attachment that you have to the past, okay? To a memory or to a belief that may or may not have to do with someone else, okay? Because Spirit is saying that you're overthinking things at this time. You don't want to make the wrong choice, which is why you're really weighing up some options here. You don't want to repeat something of the past. You know that a cycle maybe has come to an end, or you have to choose a new way. It's like you have these choices and you may want to do what you've always done, but your intuition is saying, no, Gemini, if you do what you've always done, you're going to get what you always got. And we don't want to do that. That's why you have extra angelic divine guidance coming in to help you, because the time is up here. The time is up where the universe is stepping in saying, okay, we've given you option after option after option here to let go of this. Now we're going to intervene. Now we're going to kind of light that fire behind you in order for you to trust in yourself, to walk forward on this path of enlightenment. And it's going to be a slow and steady road, right? That's why you have the Knight of Coins. Patience to succeed. That Knight of Coins, look at him. I always say he's not only just on that tightrope, he's on a tightrope standing on top of a motorcycle, balancing a coin. I mean, that takes a lot of dedication. That takes a lot of practice, a lot of effort. Gemini, there's something that you have put a lot of time into, a lot of effort into, whether this is yourself, another person, a relationship, a job, a career, your health. Now it's time to make a decision and stick with it, because there's going to be a new consequence. There's going to be, I feel, a rewarded sacrifice versus the emptiness that you felt in the past. Okay, now in the middle of your reading, you have the Two of Cups partnered with the Seven of Wands in reverse. It got to a point where there could have been someone in your life. This could be a romantic partnership where at one point you came together. It could be a partnership in your career. It could be a family member. It could be a friend, but someone that you built an emotional tie or an emotional connection with. This can be a soulmate, right? It can be love. But because you have the Seven of Wands, someone had their guard up too high. Someone had their defense mode on too high, where eventually this relationship or this situation, it lost the courage, or it lost the momentum. It lost the spark to be what it could truly be, because of one of two reasons. Because these were soul lessons. This could have been a karmic relationship, a karmic soulmate that come to teach you a lot about yourself, a lot about patience and hard work and compassion and forgiveness and understanding, right? But also knowing when to stay and when to leave, right? The art of letting go. Whoo, that's powerful. I think that's a book, The Art of Letting Go. That could be a lesson here for some of you. And it doesn't mean that this will never come back around. It certainly could. But it's never going to come back around and be the same energy that it was, ever. That's part of what and why you need to walk away, to release, to gain closure, whatever it may be for you, in order for you to kind of open your heart up. Because what happens when we go through pain, or we go through a tragedy, or we go through an experience that breaks our heart wide open, the Seven of Wands, it can put us in that place of we're all in, we're determined. And I feel like you were at one point. You were all in with this partnership. But because it's showing up in reverse, there's something that's come between the both of you. There's some sort of energy that came between you both to grow, to put down your guard, put down your defense, right? The defense mechanism is fight or flight. And for some of you, it just became too much. And that could be what you're letting go of in order to get to that 10 of Pentacles, which we see showing up here for you. Next up, you have the solar plexus chakra. Interestingly enough, you had two chakra cards show up for you. Now, the solar plexus is located above the sacral in the belly region. So pay attention this month to your reproductive organs. Even if you've had maybe a hysterectomy, maybe there's a colonoscopy coming up here, colon I'm getting, as well as stomach issues. This could be digestion. It could be heartburn. The solar plexus is located in the belly region, and it's our powerhouse, basically. It's our self-worth, our confidence. It's our position in the world. And because there's a sense of vulnerability that is required with the Seven of Wands, it's like, if I let down my guard, I'm going to be hurt. You don't want to do that, right? But something is, it's almost forcing or pushing you into that vulnerable state. Because what's clarifying is the Five of Wands. I'd rather see the Five of Wands than the Five of Swords, but it still can represent some challenges when it comes to your worth, your confidence. Because maybe you're questioning, do I have the strength to let go? Do I have the confidence to go forward and end a cycle? Do I have the confidence to face this because my heart's invested? You have a lot of cups energy. Well, two, right? You have the Seven of Cups, which is choices, and the Two of Cups, which is some sort of divine connection in some way, shape, or form. But what's going to get you through this, Gemini, is the High Priestess, trusting your intuition. This is about making decisive decisions based on your intuition, instead of silencing your intuition and letting the emotions kind of ride that wave for you and making decisions on emotion. So for example, let's say it's a relationship that you know, and someone could have green eyes as well. Green eyes could be significant. We're seeing the green eye and the third eye there. But for example, let's say your intuition has been telling you, Gemini, I need to move forward. I need to end this relationship or at least separate myself, my energy in order to heal. But let's say that emotion of loneliness creeps in, right? We start thinking about the memories. We start thinking about the other person and the good times, that we forget all the bad. We forget what got us into this situation in the first place. And we let that emotion come in and make a choice. And that choice is to pick up the phone and call that person or text that person out of loneliness, when your intuition knows that you need to do something different. And maybe you've always picked up the phone and called that person or connected with them. Maybe you haven't given yourself that closure, that goodbye, that growth, that, liberation, whatever it is for you. I mean, it doesn't have to be a relationship. It could be a job. It could be health. It could be anything here, but your intuition is guiding you out of some challenging times if you listen, right? Don't let the emotions overrule or the memories overrule and keep you stuck in this hanged man energy. Next up, you have the Tower, followed by the Nine of Swords. And it's interesting because mostly everyone got 6 cards here, and Spirit said one more after the fact, which I see why, because this is your outcome, but it's not happening right away. And I'll tell you why. Because you're going through a tower. You're rebuilding your life in a sense here, Gemini. Whew, and I got strong emotions coming in. So some of you, and when the emotions hit me so strong, I know that it's affecting you all very strongly as well. So no wonder you're going through these waves at this time. And it's important to acknowledge and feel those emotions, but know that your intuition is guiding you through the darkest times, through some of your darkest fears. And some of these fears have manifested in a sense, maybe a job loss, the loss of a loved one, the end of a relationship, a health issue, whatever it may be. I mean, the Tower doesn't have to be just negative, but I feel that some of you, this is a life-altering change when it comes to something in your world. And when we go through change, sometimes we worst case scenario it, right? We Nine of Swords it. We say, oh my gosh, the world is crumbling. Life is, I'm going to be homeless. I'm going to be broke. And maybe that is the case for some of you. But if you've hit rock bottom, there's only one way up, right? And there's been some sort of a loss in the past that's forced you to have to rebuild, or it will force you to rebuild. But the reason why Spirit kept wanting me to go forward, and I had to smile. It's like the rainbow or the light at the end of the tunnel, because what you may not see through the midst of the Tower, the shock, the rebuilding, the letting go, the crumbling, the memories, all of it, like think of a projection screen just playing out and moving forward and rolling through that, I forget what they call the video roll. At the end of it, you have the Empress with the 10 of coins. And yes, the 10 of coins is showing up in the lower frequency, but it's because you're rebuilding your sense of long-lasting stability. The Emperor is Aries energy, and Aries is in the North Node at this time, Libra in the South Node. Some of you may have strong Aries Libra in your chart. You could be dealing with one, or you are really feeling the effects of this Aries and Libra South and North Node. Some of you may even have that as your personal South and North Node. But whatever is crumbling here is to rebuild that sense of, 10 of Pentacles, which is you being able to have that stability within your soul tribe, within your partnerships, your relationships, have that sense of financial security, wealth, and abundance, to be able to create and build a legacy, long-term goals. For some of you, there will be possibly an inheritance. Okay, there could be something that's been handed to you. Someone may have inherited a home, an estate, maybe some personal items. It could be a contract. Some of you, this is a new business opportunity where someone may have retired. Someone may have decided to leave after pregnancy leave, I'm getting as well. Or, this is you embracing you, Gemini, in all of your masculinity, right? All of, and it doesn't matter if you're female or male, does not matter at all. This is about you stepping into that power and taking the lead of your life, right? It's like getting on, and this is what they're showing me. It's like getting on a horse and the horse doesn't have reins. And this could be chariot energy for some of you as well. You could see a complete overhaul by maybe Cancerian season, July of 2024 could be significant for some of you. But what I am getting here is it's like you're taking, instead of taking the reins when you get on that horse, it's almost like you're going bareback right now. You're going bareback and you're just being guided, but because that horse in a way represents divine guidance, you're safe, you're protected. You're going to take the lead, take the reins, even if you can't quite see them and you don't know where you're going. You're in a position here to really, really grow, to create safety, to create stability, and to believe and trust in yourself. That's a big, big energy coming in here, Gemini. Wow. Whew. All right, might have to take a breather after this one. So when it comes to your career, your money, your wealth, you have the crown, you have the rose, and you have the nugget. Some of you, this has to do with overcoming obstacles, power plays, struggles. Some of you, this partnership could have been a boss. It could have been a company or someone who was just, power tripping, right? Power tripping. I also get credit cards declined. So someone, maybe this is a company credit card, Gemini. This could be your own personal credit card, or something was declined or denied from you. Okay. Others of you, you're entrepreneurs. Maybe you're thinking about becoming your own owner or boss. Maybe you already are. This is about taking charge. I love it, right? Taking charge. It is that emperor energy and making progress. Making progress in your life. Some of you are focusing on rebuilding your sense of stability, and that means letting go of an old lifestyle, letting go of an old way of life or an old habit or belief or whatever it may be. Now, the rose is about financial relief, being content, being in a loving role, being supported. And that's why you have that divine guidance as well. This does talk about job security, growing your affluence, growing your abundance. And I'm getting here growing your skills. Some of you could be going back to school. You could be learning something new, educating yourself. Maybe you are educating others. You're being taken care of. Some of you are taking care of others. Okay. And then we have the nugget. This is a small increase, but I feel the message from this card has to do with fresh starts, right? Steady work. It is all about getting honest about who you are, what you stand for. It's about your integrity. It's about you giving an honest, assessment of a situation, valuable information coming to light, and knowing that you are worth so much more than maybe even you give yourself credit for or other people give you credit for. All right, now we have performance review. Some of you, this is you giving others a performance review, or some of you may be coming up to a review, a bonus. There could be a company party, a holiday party coming in. If you are a business owner, you could be compiling end of the year, like taxes or how much you've made, things of that nature. I also get that there could be some sort of an exam or a re-up. Okay, re-up. So maybe you're re-upping a certification, or I also get for you business owners out there, you could be looking at, how well you've done. They're showing me graphs and charts. So some of you, maybe you work with graphs or charts, but they're giving me this guy here. Right? This guy. So I feel like you're not quite there yet. So this could also be, where are you gauging yourself currently? Whether this is career, health, do you feel like you're the little red guy, right? You have the sacral and the solar plexus, and the sacral, it doesn't feel awesome, right? Kind of has a little sad face there. Then the yellow, the solar plexus, he's kind of like, I'm not quite sure, but I'm coming out of it. He's between worlds. So some of you, you're going through this process already. So the next level is the heart, right? The next level is this light green, and this is a smiley face. So I feel like you are going through this evaluation. It's like a life eval, right? A life eval, taking inventory of the people you surround yourself with, taking inventory of your own health, what's going on around you. Some of you are deciding to resign or retire, right? It could be from a current position. It could be to go off and build your own thing. Maybe some of you, yes, you are unemployed, but there's new opportunities coming in for you to take the lead. Yeah, training. I love it. There's training. And we just talked about that as well. So yeah, you could be getting some sort of training. And I always love this card because they always highlight. Look at that word up there. You barely recognize it unless we zoomed in. But what does it say? W-I-N. What does that spell? Win. So you are coming up, you're coming out on top here. And some of you are just focused on your career, your finances, your stability, your goals. But you're still in the process of, kind of no man's land where you're in between and you're not quite out of one situation and quite into the next yet, but you're growing because your final card here is growth. When it comes to the financial sector of your reading, there's growth. Some of you could be contributing to maybe a college fund. Maybe this is to your own personal growth. If you've been questioning, should I take that class? Should I invest in this? If it has to do with your personal evolution, your personal development and growth, I feel like the answer is yes. Especially if you're a business owner, training, write that off. All right, let's take a look at love. Whew. We might have to clarify a little bit here because this is so interesting for you. And a lot of you, this is love. Okay. It could be a love situation. It doesn't have to be, but for some of you it is. This is heart-to-heart conversations. It says, honestly discuss your feelings with each other. Because in order for you both or one or the other, there needs to be some sort of discussion. Now, for some of you, this is going to be one-sided because maybe this person is crossed over. But it energetically doesn't have to be one-sided. Physically, it could be. Energetically, it's not. Because there's a cord that still lingers between you and another person. Okay? There's some sort of attachment that still lingers. So there needs to be either a conversation, some words. I'm getting that these words are tough. They're difficult, but needed. They're much needed. And I feel that this conversation may be different than any other conversation you had. And that could trigger some of you into an emotional, I'm going to repeat that, an emotional spiral of, well, if this conversation is going this way, what does this mean? Try not to get caught up in the emotional aspect of it, because the reason why you may be able to have a conversation with someone that maybe you weren't able to have before, or you didn't feel like that person seen you, heard you, or you weren't able to get through to them, or maybe energetically you feel a sense of relief. The reason why is because you are releasing some sort of attachment. And that's why it feels maybe even safer for you to express yourself. It doesn't feel like maybe you're in that fight or flight. And if that is the case, if you're still talking to the person and is fight or flight, then you're going to have the same type of conversation you've always had. But I feel like there is a shift in energy, whether it's coming in sooner rather than later. There's a shift in energy where you're going to realize that something is clearing out. It's the clearing out of the old. This could be a past life relationship, karmic relationship for some of you. As I mentioned, you have known each other before. And sometimes those past life karmic relationships, this can be one of the most challenging to sever. Okay? Karmic relationships can be the most challenging to sever. And some of you may be saying, oh, Melissa, why? Why, when we know they're, unhealthy, or we've learned what we've needed to learn, wouldn't it be easier just to cut the cords? But because there is that underlying connotation of, karmic cycles of not wanting to ever repeat, we can hang on and we can linger past our expiration date. There are feelings here. They could be romantic, right? Some of them are romantic. It says your feelings are real and worth exploring. Now, if there is someone in your world, you could be letting go of old resentments. Maybe this doesn't have to do with, physically splitting up or separating, but emotionally, I feel like there is a little bit of distance because of the Seven of Wands, because someone has lost momentum, courage, motivation, or their defenses have gone through the roof where you can't even be around this person because it's fight or flight, literally argumentative, or just completely blocked. but there's something around feelings and they can't be ignored. And lastly, this is so interesting, the engagement card. Some of you could have been engaged to a person, but what I'm getting from this is, and it says your love life is ascending to a higher level of commitment. So what that means to me is if you are in a partnership, and I say partnership because it could be any type, right? Love, family, friendship, whatever. Because whatever is happening between you and this person, whether you are together or separately, your love life is ascending. That's what this whole reading is about, is ascension in one way, shape, or form. You will never, ever go back to the way things were. I mean, you could, but I feel like this is a wrap. This is a wrap when it comes to the old way of doing things, Gemini. And there is a higher level of love. And maybe forgiveness was required. Maybe some bitterness or resentment was lingering. Maybe this heart to heart is what the both of you need. Maybe there's time and distance or separation in order for you to fully embrace your 10 of Pentacles, 10 of Coins, which is your, well, it's kind of an outcome energy, but it's the future. It's what's to come out of all this. And last but not least, you have stars in the sky, and it talks about limitless, excuse me. Ooh, no such thing as coincidence. Some of you felt limited. Some of you felt restricted. And now you're choosing, instead of to limit yourself, you're saying, I'm going to limit less. I'm going to see what else is possible out there. What other opportunities can I have to get to my 10 of Pentacles? This is about stars in the sky, destiny. It's about embracing the opportunity in front of you instead of fearing it, instead of, hanging on to some sort of attachment or a memory that limits you, right? When you look up into the velvety, dark blanket of the night sky covering the vast expanse of space, can you count all the stars twinkling above? Can you imagine that you are only glimpsing a teeny sliver of what is actually there? This is the domain of limitless possibility, of the never-ending sea of potential that you yourself are made of and have now at your disposal. Your life right now, Gemini, is alive with possibility and needs your clear focus to home in on what avenue of exploration most calls to you. It's time to choose and not be distracted by the sheer magnitude of what might be. Be here now. Gather your thoughts and your most cherished dreams. Focus on the brightest star in your never-ending sky and take small steps, small improvements towards calling this glittering potential into reality. If you can imagine this and hold that vision, you will summon all the celestial helpers and guides to aid you in bringing this into fruition. Hello, divine guidance. There's your celestial helpers. Keep your focus on the essence of potential rather than the form of it, right? The essence over the form. That's important. The universe has its own ideas of how best to serve you and all of us at the same time. Trust this as a fact rather than theory, and you ought not act surprised when your dreams come true, for they surely will, exactly how you need them to. Whoo, Gemini, this is big. Y'all might want to save this and replay this throughout the month, because if you're going through some moments, we'll call them, some experiences, if you're having a very human experience, which many of us do many times, trust that you are tuning into the vast supply of I keep saying limited. Okay, limitless. Now, some of you, that is a belief that you're still hanging on to. You may still feel very limited, okay, because of whatever this hanged man stuff is, because of the past, because of this memory, because of how something has turned out in the past, basically. Stars in the sky, bringing you to a place that you've never been before. It's time to open up and explore. Ooh, look at me. I'm a poet. Okay. Thank you so much, Gemini. Let's get a few messages and, well, we're not going to read from the guidebook, but let's have you do a little, ooh, okay. We're going to keep that. We're going to have you do a little meditation to connect to a crystal. So if you can, take a nice deep breath in from your solar plexus chakra, your belly area. Nice big breath in. Hold it for as long as you can, and upon your exhale, I want you to sigh that breath out. And with your eyes closed, Gemini, tune into that third eye chakra, the area between your eyebrows and your forehead region. And I want you to imagine the first crystal or gemstone that shows up in your mind's eye. Now, perhaps your gemstone shows up as a shiny, bright shape, color, frequency, thought form, or word or symbol. If you need a moment, just pause the video and come back when you have your crystal or crystals. Perhaps you're seeing more than one. And for those of you that would like to be entered into the free reading giveaway, all you need to do is drop whatever crystal you are seeing in your mind's eye in the comment box below. I personally will enter you into that free reading giveaway where I draw one lucky winner around the first of each month and post right back here on the channel. So please make sure you've hit that subscribe and notification bell so you don't miss that notification. All right, I'm loving this. Look at spirit quartz. Some of you may have seen rose quartz, clear quartz, rutilated quartz. This is spirit quartz, which you're getting a lot of that divine energy, divine guidance, right? A lot of that spiritual help. Spirit quartz connects you to the higher realms, connects you to that ancestral wisdom and to your own higher self. Next, we have amethyst. This is a favorite for a lot of folks. Amethyst can also help us open up that third eye chakra and connect to our higher selves. It can also enhance, I shall say, sleep as well. For those of you that are having trouble sleeping, because you do have the 9 of Swords, if you're tossing and turning, amethyst can help calm and soothe your energy. And then we have Bixbite. Bixbite is a powerful pink chakra here, and it's all about, again, that heart space. So I'm also getting with the tad bits of copper. There is something here that can help ground you within Bixbite, if that is copper. But I definitely feel like there is an etheric type of energy around you at this time. It's almost like you are just being divinely carried. Okay, divinely carried. And I know I've said this in past readings. For those of you that are familiar with the Footsteps poem, right, where Jesus is carrying, and there's the one foot of footprints in the sand, or one set of footprints in the sand. I kind of get that energy where you're being carried, you're being guided at this time. So trust. Try not to let yourself go down the rabbit hole of your mental thoughts, and stay open to receiving the blessings that are coming in. That is what I have for you, Gemini. I hope it resonates. If so, please feel free to hit that thumbs up button. It certainly helps get the divine channeled messages out there to those that need it most, and it certainly helps the growth of the channel, which I appreciate so very much. I would love to see those crystals. Drop them in the comment section below, and if you haven't already hit that like, share, comment, subscribe, and bell button, feel free to do so at this time. Thank you so much, Gemini, for tuning in. I will link the Gemini playlist. I've recently created those for your convenience. So if you want to check out any of the pick-a cards, any of the collective, or any other readings for your sign, your moon, rising, whatever you look at and watch, it should all be there for you. Thank you so very much for tuning in, Gemini. Lots of love.